Hello, my name is Dr. Sandra Taylor, and I am here to present the last lecture. I was nominated in the summer of 2023 by students from the Deerwood campus and fall 2023 from students at North Campus. The first lecture was given by Randy Pausch, who is a computer science professor at Carnegie Mellon University. He was dying and only had months to live, and was asked to give a lecture which has now become famous and is offered to professors around the world. The last lecture is given to provide advice, wisdom, knowledge, and basically share what individuals want people to know about that they might not be able to give in a standardized lecture in the classroom. It kind of makes you think what's important and what you really want people to know. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how did I get here? How was I offered to get this last lecture? Well, first of all, we go back to the very beginning. And then, continuing on as I grew, ending up with a love of books. I took the obligatory tap, jazz, and ballet, took the piano lessons with my brother, and then continued to study piano until I finished high school. I'm a sister, an aunt, and a great aunt. You see me here with my brother, his daughters, and his oldest daughters and their families. I've been a daughter caring for both my parents. And of course, this is one of our early family pictures. And then finally, I became a caregiver for my mom after my dad passed away. I grew up in Arlington. I attended Justina Elementary, went to Arlington Annex 6th grade center, Douglas Anderson 7th grade center, Fort Caroline Junior High, and graduated from Terry Parker High School. I graduated from Florida Junior College back in 1981, and this is me being penned by Dr. Lois Gibson, receiving my associate degree in nursing. And this was our graduating class, and actually penning was held at my home church, Arlington Baptist. From there, I went on to University of North Florida to achieve my Bachelor of Science in Nursing. The University of Florida, go Gators, with my master's. And finally, Jacksonville University with my doctorate of nursing practice. I started at Wilson Children's Hospital as a nursing tech, continued to work there as a bedside nurse for 22 years, went on to work for the University of Florida in pediatric cardiology as a nurse practitioner, worked in infectious disease and doing research, did some adjunct work for Florida Community College, so I've been with the college through all the changes, and finally Florida State College at Jacksonville since 2008. So when I was first asked to do this, I was petrified. I was like, oh, maybe you can do this, because this was the second time I've been nominated and I turned down the first one. So I started thinking, okay, you can do this. And I started getting ideas and finally said, I think I know what I can talk about. And that is how I came up with the topic, be unique. So what does it mean to be unique? Well, it's being an individual. It's being exceptional, out of the ordinary, and noticeably different. So for me, when I'm doing lectures in the classroom, I like to add in multiple things because not always one slide or one picture is going to click with students. So you're going to see multiple presentations for each letter. So for B, be yourself. Don't ever let anything dim the light that shines from within you. That's why you are you. Also, brighten somebody's day. You never know how much just a hello, how are you, just a smile at a person can brighten up their day, because they may be having a really bad day and you can be that one spot that helps them get through. So be someone's sunshine when their skies are gray. Believe in yourself, because if you do, anything is possible. I like to tell students, I believe in you, even when they don't believe in themselves. And sometimes they will come back and just say simply, thank you for believing in me, because I didn't think I could do this, but you were right, I could do this. Because if you believe, you will, and you will achieve great things. For E, well, the elephant in the room. This is addressing uncomfortable topics. Topics that are embarrassing, undesirable, but things that we have to address. So let's address this elephant that's in this room. And for me, that is something called neurofibromatosis. I was born a fighter. I was born with a genetic disease, and I am a fighter. For some history, John Merrick was thought to have something called the elephant man's disease. That's why we always will say the elephant in the room. He actually was considered to be a freak, was placed in circus sideshows, and people came to see him because he was hideous looking, and they wanted to mock and make fun of him. What we know about John Merrick is that he had something called Proteus disease. He did die at an early age in a hospital, but it was thought that the tumors that he had growing were so severe that it basically decapitated his head from the growth. So what is neurofibromatosis? It's also called von Recklinghausen's disease. May is NF Awareness Month, and May 17th is National Neurofibromatosis Awareness Day, because the NF gene is found in the 17th chromosome. So that's why we observe this every year on the 17th. Individuals can have various levels from very mild to very severe. I have a lot of skin, cutaneous neurofibromas. Other individuals have large tumors that are growing that you can visibly see, and some tumors that you can't see. NF can cause extreme pain, debilitating scoliosis, hearing loss, vision loss, and even learning disabilities. So this is some of the information about MyNF. It does cause tumors to grow on nerves, causing pain. They can press against vital body organs. It is an autosomal dominant, meaning both parents are carrying the gene, or it can occur as a spontaneous mutation, basically meaning we don't know where it comes from, and that is how it happened in my family, because no one else in the family has NF except me. It affects about 100,000 individuals and occurs in 1 in 2,000 children that are born, making it the most common genetic disease that nobody has ever heard of. E, never stop learning. Education is so important. Just because you get a college degree doesn't mean that you have to stop learning. My goal is to learn something new every day, regardless of what it is. So make today a day that you can learn, and then go out and share what you've learned, because somebody else may have never heard of it and you are able to help them. For you, never be unprepared. Don't be afraid to fail. You want to encourage your talent and use your heart. So it's okay to admit what you don't know. I will always tell students, if I don't know something in class when they ask me a question, that's an excellent question. Let's look it up together. That way we're both learning and we're both going to know the answer. So it's okay and a true sign of intelligence when you admit that you don't know, because I think people all the time expect so much of us, not only as professors, but as individuals, because, well, you've got a doctorate, so surely you know it. Well, there's a lot of things I don't know, but there's a lot of things that I do. For N, never change yourself for somebody else. Again, going back to be yourself and being unique, because either people are going to love you for it, and most of them will, but don't change just to be accepted. You may see me struggle, but you're never going to see me quit. And I think that is so true, and that kind of sums up who I am, because I've had a lot of struggles in my life, but I've never given in and given up, especially with the NF. People will say, I don't know how you do what you do. I simply say, by the grace of God, and I'm going to push on. You want to nurture. Nurses are nurturing people. We care about individuals. And I think whether you're a student watching this, whether you're a parent, whether you're a professor, whoever you happen to be, nurture minds, because you're going to help them grow. And by helping them grow, we're going to be able to help them maybe brighten somebody's day just by something that we've done to assist them. You want to be a fountain. You don't want to drain people because of saying things about them or to them that are going to make them question themselves. You're not brightening their day then, you're kind of diminishing it. For I, inquire about possibilities, because if you don't, you'll never know what else is out there. So as it does say, inquiring minds want to know. Let's find out, what are those possibilities? Ask the questions. I love it when students ask me questions that I can't answer. I love when students challenge me, because it does make me a better professor. And I've told them that. I've told them many times, you challenge me to be better. And it also tells them that, yes, I may not know everything and I'm willing to admit it, but I'm also, I'm learning something new. So you can be the one to be inquisitive, to ask those questions, to ask the students, turn it back on them and get them to think about what is the possibility. So it's more important to be instrumental to people than to feel that you're important and give yourself importance. So one who is instrumental eventually realizes this fact and will focus on being instrumental to someone in any way and every way possible. Sainthood is servitude, service to humanity, and a serving attitude. Who can you be instrumental to today? For Q, quality in everything that you do. Don't do a half job, do it all. Give everything that you have whenever you're presenting, whether it's a lecture, a paper that you're writing, a test that you're taking. Give them quality, do your best. Question what you don't know, because if you don't question, how are you going to learn? And I'm constantly in the books, reading, searching, trying to understand, trying to present information in different ways that are going to reach students in different capacities. If you don't want to know the answer, then don't ask the question. I think that's one of the most important lessons that we can all learn. For you, let go of the uns, whether it's being unfriendly, unkind, unable, unappreciative, and you can just read these, undecided, uneasy, unhappy, unclear, unapproachable, because these are going to turn people away, and you've just defeated everything that we've talked about. So now let's embrace some uns, whether it's understanding, undergoing, being unusual, unique, unwavering, unflappable, unrelenting, unshakable. These are things that we want to enhance. For E, endurance. I think endurance is difficult, but if we can endure, we're going to finish the race, and we're going to be excited when we finish, and we're going to know that we have been able to do it. Somebody believed in us, and we were able to accomplish what we set out to do. So endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that comes the final victory. And push harder than yesterday if you want a different tomorrow. I don't know what else you can say to that except that we're going to keep pushing along and we're going to move forward. So empowerment, the first step is clearly defining what it is you're after, because without knowing that, you'll never get to it. If you don't know why you're doing this, if you don't know why you're in school, why you're in the classroom, then you're never going to be able to empower somebody, because empowerment is something that nurses do. I think it's something that teachers do. We help students believe in themselves. We help give them the tools so that they are able to help others, and eventually they are helping themselves and they may not realize it. If you have good things, if you have, good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you'll always look lovely. So go around thinking those happy thoughts, and people will want to say, well, I want what she has. I want to be empowered, and sometimes that's all we need. So empowerment is based on the idea that giving employees skills, resources, authority, opportunity, motivation, as well as holding them responsible and accountable for outcomes of their actions will contribute to competence and satisfaction. I think that's our goal with whatever we do, is giving people what they need so that they can achieve and they can shine that bright light. So in closing, some takeaway thoughts. You can always be unique in all that we do. Remember that you are unique like everybody else. We're all different, but we all have the capacity to share with others and brighten their day. We're all different, and that's beautiful. You know, people want to look on the physical beauty, but sometimes we need to look past the physical and look on inside and look at the heart. Don't compare yourself to others. I think we get tripped up by doing that, because my journey is totally different than your journey, and your journey is not going to be the same as somebody else's. So being unique is not bad. It means you're brave enough to stand up, to be true to yourself without conforming to what others want you to be. So in the end, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see somebody that is timid, or do you see somebody that is totally unique? Thank you.